Welcome back to AI War 2, Sage Against the Machines. Before we get rolling here again, one technical note. You may have noticed in the last session that I accidentally had a couple of mods on. Then I saved the game with them on, not realizing I had them active for other reasons, just answering questions on Discord and whatnot. So the problem there is I can't turn them off without going back to a previous save before what has already been recorded and uploaded. I don't want to make people relive all of that. These take a decent amount of time as is. So what I'm going to do is just basically ignore the mod items and not use them. And so if you're wondering about specifics, it's items like, for example, we've got this extra station keeping frigate and we've got this extra cruise missile turret, etc. These are part of more system defenders. And we're just going to use the vanilla items and play as if those are not there for us, and it won't affect the way everything plays out so long as we do that, thankfully. So moving on to our current struggle. We were going to move into Texarkana here eventually, cut off the Warden Hunter fleet, but there's a problem with that. It's just close enough to receive Praetorian Guard reinforcements. And, well, we are not quite ready to tango with those. So we're going to take another route, basically the back route, to get through to Kessler Pit, which I really want to do, get this TSS, grab another turret, before we hit our next CPA. And we're kind of in a good situation, as I mentioned last time, strategically, but we still do have issues like Planet Q, the back door here. We eventually want to come in here and get this Thanatos and this other fuel station and really secure our whole situation with this part of the galaxy, get this part cut off and secure everything else in behind it. But I really need to get in here first, as we're about to hit up the next mark level of AI progress. So, into Red Queen's Race we go, which is not going to be an easy one to crack. It's a Mark V planet. We've hit Mark V planets before. We have this mass driver here, though. It's a good distance across the system, decent-sized system. And then also notice this is protected by a couple of AI reactive dummies, meaning we won't be able to shoot it right away until those go down. So it's a little complicated, and after thinking about a few different ways to do this, I'm going to switch my frigates to the backup fleet with the tackle drones, and they're not going to go in except for a couple of them. I'm going to take... We're going to try 4 of them here. So the... Oh, that's not what I want. I just want the tritium snipers. There we go. And the point of them is to absorb the firepower from the mass driver. Have him shoot its shots at them, and that way they're not hitting our transport, which I want to send across the system to get rid of the mass driver. Then we're going to bring in a couple of outguard as well to just try to deflect some of that. Okay. And you are loaded up, yes? Yes, you are. Excellent. Alright. See if we can get across here and deal with this. The outguard are very nice to come in on this side of the system. That'll help us out a bit. Now some of the ships hitting us. Pulling us down. I think that's probably far enough. And of course, as much as we'd like to go after this Concussion Guardian, we have other problems. Mass driver. Oh, look. Great. Let's just take out that Tractor Guardian. There we go. Now we'll hit this. I notice the shots coming over here, the reactive dummies, which are underneath a Mark V force field generator, so it'll take that much longer. Yeah. We're just getting pounded in here, but we really not going to worry about it. There we go. Now we're starting to hit it. Reactive dummies are down. Knock it down. Come on, you can do it. Okay, mass driver is down. These are still over here causing issues. We are going to load up. Alright. Some caught in tractors. Actually, quite a few are having problems here. But they'll fight off as they can. Everybody else comes this way. Yes. Primary fleet, or rather backup fleet, comes in to help. Okay. And everybody is going to unload over here. Let's start hitting some of these turrets, clear out this area so we can bring in our support fleets. Now, you can see we are not looking great, but hopefully we can rebuild and get going. I do want to switch back, then, our frigates to our normal fleet configuration. There we go. And we're not going to be in too much of a hurry here. We're going to be cautious and just try to do what we can. Quite a few turrets in this system as well. Concussion guard posts. And let's see. Let's knock out this one. I think we want to knock out some of their fleet then after that, if we can. We are still outnumbered by a fair amount, but hopefully we can even that up. I think the outguard is pretty much, yeah, they're toast. It lasted for a bit, but we haven't upgraded them or anything. They're limited. Okay. Let's see. Just get rid of some Guardians here. See if we can flip them to our side. Give them some other substantive targets to shoot at. Okay, Vampire. Let's go after this dire Concussion Guardian. That can stop ripping up our fleet. More CPA bunkers. Okay. Fight Guardian, we'll get rid of you. Ooh, that looks like a paralysis. Yuck. Okay, let's see. What else do we have around here? Feels like there's just a fair number of ships. Let's just hang out in this area for a bit. Maybe thin the herd. Ooh, look, we have Warden coming in. They're being awful frisky, aren't they? Knock that Guardian out again. Meet this Warden group. Either knock them out or convince them to leave. One or the other. We do have the upper hand now. Okay, I want to switch. Let's knock out... Yeah, we're really close to it here anyway. Let's knock out these turrets. Time is somewhat important here, both to avoid a counterattack and to just clear everything out before we get to a point where something else hits somewhere else in the galaxy. 170 some threat, not a huge amount, but when our fleet is tied down here. Alright, let's come over this way. There's more out this way. We'll deal with them later. Oh boy, more Warden. Well, hopefully our tackle drones can help with some of that, but I want to get rid of this and finally bring in our support fleet. Have them help out with their drones, but not really safe to do that when there's too much going on in this system, particularly these turrets and guard posts right next to the entrance. Six more guard posts and this will make it 5. Okay. Still a bunch of Warden there, but we're okay otherwise. Let's hit this whole cluster in this direction and bring in
Copy that.
Support fleet and battle station. There we go. Give us some nice cloak detection. So far, their hunter not hitting us. Not a lot anywhere nearby, so definitely something I can live with. Okay, that's becoming a problem. They've zombified a bunch of guardians here. Let's go clean some of these out again. If they have Tithwetas around here or something. In any case, we need to handle some of this. Bunch of vampires. You're down. What are you? Just gravity. Okay, it looks like whatever was causing that problem is now gone. Alright. So we're split up in multiple directions, but let's just hit this one. And there is very little of the enemy left, thankfully. Okay. On to all of this.
Listening post report AI instigator base constructed.
Alright, yeah, we're about to start getting a counterattack. We should be able to clear this out before this. Boosting the warden fleet. We're going to ignore that for a while. That's the same system we talked about before. One of them that's a little rough to get into has a turtle CPA bunker. We are not going to worry about that for a while. This we are going to worry about. What do we have left? 2 guard posts. We have outguard if we need them. And frankly, I think outguard should be able to handle that. But the thing is, if we don't go back and defend it, they could end up fleeing. And I don't want that. Let's just smack this around. It's almost down. We're just barely going to make this. I think we're barely going to make it. If we'd have been any slower, we could have had some problems. Okay. You're down? Load up. All of you here. It's basically centralized. You hang out.
We'll be in place soon. The AI is targeting a critical piece of our infrastructure.
I don't think we're going to get back there by the time they show up, but we should be back there not long after, in time to fight. A couple more waves coming in. A little more fight happening here.
Under attack in enemy territory.
Alright, they are here. And most importantly, we have our tackle drones to sort of head them off. So they will try to escape, and we can prevent them from doing too much of that. And there they go. They're running. We're going to see some of them. Some of them are going to make it out. We're grabbing a nice, good chunk of them here, though. Okay. Yeah, they're still sitting on 200, over 200. It would be worse. Whoa, what are these all? Oh, there's another wave that's headed a different direction. Okay, fine. Difference being you're relentless and we're going to be able to smack you. You are not going to run away. Meanwhile, our time is ticking away, but we will deal with other matters later. Come on, fellas, chew them up. I've got other places to go. That boosting the warden fleet is not something, frankly, that I care that much about. There could be a lot worse instigator possibilities. Okay. Still got to watch the numbers here. But other than, I mean, neat is that alarm post plant that's right, basically pocketed right near our territory. They can't escape from there, and the rest are not really doing anything that I'm too concerned about. So, maintaining a decent amount of outguard fleets. I'd like that threat number to be a little lower, but it's not too terrible. Alright.
Acknowledged.
Now this next one is a Mark IV planet. And I don't think we have current vision on it, but there is an ion cannon. Nope, it's past vision. So just the two main fleets, and we'll knock out that ion cannon, then we see what we have awaiting us.
Taking fire on enemy world.
Okay, there's some Hunter coming in the other side of the galaxy. Let's watch that pretty close. Doesn't look like there's a lot coming in that way. That could be fine for us. Okay, let's definitely get rid of our nucleophilic friend here. Looks like we have others trying to escape. Cutting them off. That should do for now. Looks like we're doing all right here. More trying to escape. Some of them will. We'll chew up others. We may not need to knock out all of the guard posts here. They're spread around pretty well. Let's bring in our support. Okay, more Hunter fleet coming in there. Let's check that again. Alright. I think this is a good opportunity to utilize our outguard. Let's just make sure that we at least have some more resistance, because we don't know how... Okay. That should swing that to our favor unless they come in there a lot harder than that. Load up. I don't mind leaving a few of these guard posts around. And just moving into Kessler Pit. Which is a weak system, so it shouldn't actually be something that causes us a bunch of problems, in theory.
Consider it done. On our way.
Taking fire behind enemy lines.
Okay, we've got some warden. Move in, and I think this is probably a good situation for pursuit. Not a lot going in here. Bring in the rest of our friends. These are even unarmed guard posts. So kind of interesting that the journey, much worse than the destination in this case. Hard one's going fine. Knock out this CPA bunker. Okay. And we are up to Mark II AI progress. But we're going to snag this. Everything built up real quick. Yes, Praetorian Guard sighted. They're about to hit Planet Q again. Now, I want to hack right away and grab the vampires. You know, makeshift. I'm not a big fan of. Death Grip range is too low, and the vampires had a bit of an adjustment. Or rather, they will in the next patch. It's going to give them a little more damage, a little less vampirism. But basically, they don't have that high of damage, but they pair very well with acid. That's 6 shots a second that they get. So, and of course, they survive quite well. They'll be very hard to destroy. So I think they're definitely the best of the options in here. And then we need to get going as that happens on building up our defenses here as well. Let's see. You know, I think on Planet Q I do want to, not necessarily over in Kessler Pit, but just grab that third force field just in case. Okay. This shouldn't be a problem. Vampire turrets are now here.
My crews are at your disposal.
These fit in well with our others. The rest of our wonderful structures
We're starting now.
can come out. And then I need to put, of course, vampire turrets on all of my other planets as well. Now the question is, what do I do next? And rather than try to go wipe out some more of the CPA bunkers, although I could do that, I think I just want to head back here, grab that Thanatos, secure this back door area, and then we will push down through this direction. This is Vici, back door to Planet Q. And it looks like the biggest problem is this Dire Widow, although it is a Mark V planet. Let's just hop in here. And I also want to use my science, upgrade turrets. We're getting a bit low on energy, so I'll upgrade logistical. Now radon's quite low. We'll get some of that from our balance fuel station. It looks like we're basically going to break even on this system because we'll take the Thanatos, but get enough Xenon just to cover it. So let's see what we can do in here.
Behind enemy lines.
Bunch of, okay, acid turrets there. That'll be fun. See if we can charge down this way and deal with any of you. Okay, what do we have here? See, these are... Yeah, these are going to take us for a ride. I mean, hopefully not too many of us, but got Persuaders and Pulsar Punks, so... See how many of them we can eliminate before they yank us off to parts unknown. Okay, so you went out, you made it out with some of us. Just want to keep a pretty close eye on that. Yeah. Let's not accept all of that. Looks like some of you came in here. Yep. So I want to be pretty careful with this. Okay. Yep, and a bunch of you being triggered in here. So we're gaining some more. Let's see, where are you coming at? Gaining some more threat because triggering in the other planets, which, I mean, it could be worse. It's like, do you let their ships escape, or do you let them take your ships with them? Which can actually just trigger more ships on other planets. Yep. So we'll just smack all of them around. Make sure at least we aren't triggering any counterattacks elsewhere. See if we can get rid of the rest of these Pulsar Punks. Okay. So I think that's going to be everything, and we'll need to deal with that threat escalation, of course. It's all part of the fun. But we're going to be pulled in a few different directions here. I mean, we've got CPA coming in a few minutes. At least could potentially be announced in a few minutes. We have Texarkana down here, which is escalating faster than I'd like. We want to cut off this area. On the other hand, I want to clear out back in this direction and really allow us just more free travel through. We've got some pretty hard blocks. Purple Monkey, Dishwasher, Revanche is another one. Instigator in there, of course. And be able to clean out CPA bunkers as they're generated. So I'm not sure which of those is going to end up being the higher priority, but we definitely have some sort of housekeeping to take care of before we're really ready to push on into what you might call the second half of the galaxy down this way. All of that coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we will be able to accelerate this process, but it's looking like these AIs are going to just make it a bit of a slog for us. See you soon.